The summer's winding down and kids are gearing up to head back to school. For many, this time of the year means buying new clothes, pencils, other school supplies. But what about those high-tech gadgets and gizmos? Technology expert Abby Stokes is here to share a few technology buying tips. She's the author of the Computer Handbook. Is this thing on?
A computer handbook for late bloomers, technophobes, and the kicking and screaming.
All right, Abby. So obviously the technology keeps on changing and you don't just need a laptop anymore. What do you need for back to school?
Well, it's funny because I sort of think of back to school for you and I as well. You don't have to be in school for it. September always marks that start of the new year.
That's true.
For kids, for sure they need a computer, but they don't necessarily need a computer that they carry to school. I think it's dangerous because it so easily could get dropped, broken, or stolen. So it may be that you want to get something like a small tablet. This is the small Nexus Android tablet. So this might be helpful for them to potentially use at school for some things. This is not so great for taking notes though. So when you think about a tablet, you might want to get something that has a keyboard.
Okay.
This is a case that has a keyboard, or the new Microsoft Surface, which is totally fantastic, has a keyboard that comes off.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's pretty great, and it also has a great stand so it stands up.
That's great,
so
and the keyboard still works,
This
right?
keyboard still works, yeah. So they could use it just as a touch screen, or they could use the keyboard. So that's, again, this is a little pricey for them to be taking to school and a little fragile, but it is handy for them to be able to take notes.
All right, so you have your laptop. You decide to keep that in the dorm room.
Right.
When is it that you should upgrade, or how do you know you need an
Well,
upgrade?
it's a really good question, and I think that kids are less good about housekeeping in general, whether it be their dorm room or whether it be their computer. Before you decide to upgrade, the best thing you could do is get the technology into either Staples or Best Buy and have their team go over and make sure it's not slow just because it hasn't been cleaned out. There's defragging to do, there's updates to put in there. So before you sort of think of something new, you might think about making sure you've cleaned up what you have.
Cleaned up what you have. And what about a refurbished item?
Well, when it comes to kids, because again, they're a little bit less responsible with their items, getting refurbished is fine. It'll save you money, but you want to be sure there's a warranty that goes along with the equipment, because to get something refurbished means potentially you're getting somebody else's problems. And if you don't have any recourse, so you want to make sure there's some sort of a warranty.
All right, buying online, do we find deals there?
I like to buy online because it's usually less expensive, but you can't go hand it to somebody.
You can't play with it first, right?
You can't touch it first, which is important, and you can't go back and say, listen, Charlie, you told me this was going to do this and it doesn't. So in many ways, I think buying physically in a store is a better idea. Get the cheaper price online and go into the store and say, can you meet the price I saw online? And they usually will. Okay. So you can get the cheaper price.
All right, let's talk a little bit about connecting, trying to get online. There's Wi-Fi, or explain to us what the data plans are all about.
Okay, Wi-Fi means you need to have a signal where you're sitting. So like when I take the train, Metro North doesn't have a signal. So I can't use a Wi-Fi only device on the train. So Wi-Fi has to be that there's a signal where you are. A data plan means you're bringing the signal with you. So you're paying Comcast or T-Mobile or Verizon to use their satellite to bring the signal to your device. So that would be a monthly cost.
Got it.
So you'd want to do a data plan if you want to use the device 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Very good. And Abby, where can we find your book and more information about you?
You can find it online at my website, which is askabbystokes.com, or at any bookstore.
Very good. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the tips.
Thank you so much.
All right.